It's the case that's brought the global pandemic to a small, unsuspecting Queensland town.
Anastasia Palaszczuk has
A
announced
central Queensland man.
30-year-old man has died from COVID-19.
Australia's youngest COVID-19 death.
The death of Nathan Turner is now the focus of a major health investigation in Blackwater, a coal mining town 190 k's west of Rockhampton. Of the 1,058 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Queensland, there had been none among Blackwater's 4,700 citizens until now. Nathan was found unresponsive on Tuesday. Tests conducted after he died found he was carrying the virus. He had a complex medical history, and it's not entirely clear if COVID-19 actually killed him.
At this stage, I'm waiting for information from the coroner, who's now responsible, of course, for sorting out what may have killed the gentleman.
Anyone who may have had contact with him is being tested, including his grieving partner who's in quarantine.
Our contact tracers on the ground in Blackwater have identified 20 contacts of that man who sadly died. 18 of those have been tested and their tests have returned negative. There are 2 further who will be tested today.
Even residents with no known link are lining up.
Wasn't expecting that in Blackwater. You don't know who you rub shoulders with in a town like this. It's a bit sad, really, yeah.
I would like to see far more people in Blackwater come forward and get tested.
But the question remains, how did Nathan contract the virus? Authorities are investigating an aged care nurse who tested positive in Rockhampton earlier this month. It's believed she took a 400-kilometre round trip to watch the sunset.
At the time, she said that she had no contact with anyone on the ground, and so there was no reason for our contact tracers to think that there was any risk associated with that trip.
And that's because Nathan was showing symptoms before this, but was never tested. Now the contact tracing is expanding to include the town's fly-in, fly-out mine workers. So could the main source of this town's livelihood also be the source of its outbreak?
Well, 10 News First journalist Chris Campy joins us from Blackwater. Chris, what's the mood like there?
Well, of course, a lot of the residents are waiting for results. There's been a lot of testing here. The close contacts of Nathan Turner, 20 of those were identified. 18 have so far tested negative. Another 100 or so were brought here to the Blackwater Rodeo facility, where they had a makeshift Queensland health facility set up for drive-through testing. So a lot of people are anxious. They're waiting. Like this coronavirus anywhere, no one knows who they've been in contact with, so there are a lot of nervous people, and basically a lot of them waiting for outcomes tonight.
We were surprised to hear there were still fly-in and fly-out workers coming into town. How are locals reacting to the news that that could be the source of the outbreak?
Well, look, I think the locals obviously are very connected to mining communities out here, and FIFO work is a prominent feature of that. And it's an area that's being investigated. There's nothing conclusive that says that is the source. There's a number of lines of inquiry. So there are a number of investigations going concurrently, and they're trying to get to the bottom of just where this virus may have come from.
Chris, I think the whole country will be watching this one now with interest. Thank you very much for your time.
No worries.